Good evening, folks. Good evening, one. Good evening, all. I trust you are all keeping well. This evening, on the lockdown session, I'll be joined by a very smooth, suave, sophisticated young man. His name is Mr. Paris Ruel, with a voice as smooth as silk. How you doing, Paris? Hope you are keeping well.
Very well, thank you. How are you, Ron?
I am not too bad, sir. Not too bad. It's been a long while that we haven't, what's the word, caught up.
Indeed,
But we
indeed, too
always
long.
connect somewhere along the line anyway.
Yeah,
But it's good to catch up with people. Now, we're going to talk about your music and your time in music. How did you get
sounds great.
started doing what you're doing?
I come from a family of musicians. My father was a dancer and singer. Was signed to labels. Was in West End shows like Starlight. Danced for Kate Bush and did all sorts of things. My mother was also she could sing and she was a dancer. So, and I have tapes from the age of 2 singing with my grandfather. My other grandfather played the bagpipes and taught me do, re, mi, etc. Actually, as a punishment. But,
Whoa.
I'm thankful now.
Hmm. Man, that's a. So you come from a very rich musical heritage.
Indeed, which I'm thankful for.
Right, it shows. It shows. If you haven't heard him sing, well, you're in for a treat later on, but you're in for a real treat. Now, when it comes to music and performing and singing, obviously you've sung many places because I've been to quite a few places and seen you perform. And I just have to sit, point the camera, and it just works because it's not very often you see somebody who can do what you can do with so much ease.
Thank you. Thank you for the kind words.
I'm jealous at times because watching you do what you do, it's like, man, if only. But you know what? I'm not made for singing. My voice is, for want of a better word, kind of coarse. It's all right for radio stuff, but going up there and singing, no, no, I'll leave that to the pros, which this man is.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, we've known each other for, ooh, 6, 7, no, probably 8 years now.
Yeah,
About,
could be more.
probably, it's probably more, but I'm just trying to concentrate on how many years it is because when we first met, it was a it's difficult to gauge, real difficult. Then again, yeah, it is difficult because I've seen you perform many times. But one of the places that stands out in my mind is when I went to the water margin at the O2 Centre,
Yeah,
and you
yeah,
were performing there, and you had a stellar setup, is what I would call,
yeah, definitely.
because the band was as hot as you couldn't believe. So I think
Yeah,
you had who was it on keys? Lex Cameron.
yep, yep. Good
Now
friend Lex, he's great.
watching that man play with his what I call lightning fingers, Zeus has nothing on that when you see them fingers move. And he
Yeah,
plays
yeah.
flute as well, just to make sure you understand where he's coming from. No, actually,
And guitar.
and guitar and
Yeah,
bass
and sings.
and sings. Yeah, that's right. Now, how do you see when you have that caliber of musician? You can't go up there with 50% of what you think you know. You
Yeah,
have to bring 110% plus the extra
definitely.
because these boys, these guys, no, these young men is the word I would use, are very on it. Now, one of the other guys, I think you had William Francis on drums, if I'm not mistaken. Was it
Your
William
memory's
Francis?
better than mine.
I think so. But I
It
know there's
may
one
have been.
person that we both know or both remember fondly, Mr. Davy Lanes on bass.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah. R.I.P. David Rain, Davy Lane.
Of course.
Love that guy.
Now that is one man who I called him my other brother from my other mother
Yeah.
because when we met, it must be coming up on 9 years now. As I yeah, it's coming up on 9 years. When he played, it was as if you had no idea a bass instrument could sound like that. And this
Yeah,
is anybody's bass. He will pick up anybody's bass and do that to it. And I'm thinking,
yeah,
man, that is just crazy. But yeah, seeing him perform with you guys, and I thought, I want to be able to do that
yeah.
eventually.
He
I'm
was a
getting
great
there.
bass.
I'm getting there. I am
I
getting there.
believe, man. I
I'm
believe.
getting there because I think if Davey was alive now, he'd look and say, keep it up. Don't stop, just keep it up. Which is nice. Which is really cool. Now,
I'm sure he's looking down and saying that anyway.
I'm sure he is because that's why he was here. If it's not to show and help, why else? But
Yeah.
this is how we live and this is how we learn from each other. So it's the nice feeling knowing that you've had someone like that in your life. Very
Yeah.
humble, very down to earth, very direct, but also
Definitely.
very professional.
To be honest, I'm very thankful to have had the friendship with Davi and also to
Mm,
have the friendship with Lex, who we just mentioned. You know, he's someone
mm.
who's given me a lot of opportunities through the journey that I'm on.
Well,
So, you know.
it's nice to know. I had him on a guest on the show. Oh, about a week? No, 2 weeks ago. Twice. Once
Ah,
his own self, and then with Imani for their gig at Ronnie Scott's.
should have let me know, man. I would have listened in.
Well, I can always do the rerun. Can always do the rerun.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
always good.
sounds good.
Always
I'll
good.
do that. I'll do that.
Now, when it comes to your style of music, sir, your
Yeah,
singing, for want of a better word, is impeccable.
thank you.
Because I've seen you a few times, I've heard you, and each time I just have to point camera, sit, relax, and enjoy what's coming because I know it's going to be good.
Thank you very
And it's
much. Thank
great to do that. Now, because of the, what's the word, the COVID situation,
you. Yeah,
a lot of gigs were cancelled, a
yeah,
lot of trips to perform and stuff like that wiped out.
yeah.
What have you been doing meanwhile?
Well, other than spending time with family, as we all have,
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing a lot of writing, you know, for my own project, some other people's as well, you know. Um, I'm not sure if you're aware, I'm the lead singer for the bass player Yolanda Charles's band Project PH. So I've
Ah,
been working on that. We did a video shoot recently for that too, just a
that's right.
promo
Yeah.
video.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, so I've been doing stuff with her, obviously online, back and forth. And then I've
Mm.
been doing my own personal project and discussing with the other musicians who I will get to take what I create here in my little setup to another level.
Right. So you have been busy then.
Indeed, indeed.
Oh,
Have to keep mentally and physically active, you know.
that is true.
Can't be locked
That is
down and
true. That
bungling.
is true. That is true. Now we're going to get to the crux of this matter shortly. Not just yet, but we will get there because we have a lot to talk about. Now, when you started off in your music, was it your intention to go as far as you could go at the time, or did it just happen that you know what, I can now do this, I can carry on and make it something what I want?
I think at the beginning of starting my music, um, I kind of fell into it by being associated with other people that were doing music. And I always had a love for performing and music. And then obviously there's the other side that I think a lot of musicians at first fall into where they appreciate the lady side of it and they appreciate the attention. But then you surpass that and you realize, actually, I just really love this and I can't imagine my life without it.
Hmm.
So, you know, although obviously I wanted to have success and take it as far as I can, there's also a thing of, well, this is who I am. This is what I do. It's within me. So it will go as far as it will go, but irrelevant as how far it goes, I'll still be doing it.
Wow. So you have no intention on stopping anytime soon. I hope you don't.
No, no,
Oh.
definitely not. Irrelevant of what happens in the world,
Hmm.
I'll still be making music.
Good. Now this is nice to know because there's some people who, when you hear them sing, you're going to think he has got to be doing more than this. This guy is one of them. This cat is one of them. Now, we spoke earlier about
Yeah.
influences.
Yeah.
Now this is where every musician I've had sitting in that spot thinking, oh no, the music. How can I condense all what I know into the said tracks? Well, it's not going to be too difficult because the man's professional to the point it's a crime. But what would you say is some of your favorite tracks you like to listen to get you through, for example, a busy day?
Tracks. Well, there's too many to list. It'd be easier for me to list artists than it would be tracks, to be
That will do.
honest.
That will do. That will do.
Okay.
That will do.
So Prince would definitely be high on my list.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Eric Benet would
Oh.
be another.
Oh, okay.
Another would be Maxwell, D'Angelo, Al Green, Stevie
Mm-hmm.
Wonder. I'll give you an extra one. Terence Trent D'Arby as well. I've always
Oh, I had a
appreciated.
feeling that was going to come in. I had a feeling that was going to come in, and I'm glad it did. I'm glad it did.
But yeah.
Now, everyone's got their, what's the word, go-to tracks.
Mm.
Now, when you're writing, you got your head on and you're doing your writing and producing stuff, what kind of tracks do you like to listen to? Or are you the kind of person who doesn't really listen to anything because you're focused on this?
That's the kind of person I am. I try and actually switch off from everything else
Hmm.
and just try and go with whatever is inside, so I can bring out what I have to offer rather than trying to take influence from the people I appreciate too much, because I already feel I've done that through the years of singing along with their music and internalizing their music. I don't want to seem like I'm trying to emulate.
Hmm. That's true. Yeah. Now I can agree with you wholly on that because I remember David used to tell me many times, when you're playing, play you. Don't
Yeah.
play somebody else. Everybody else is trying to be somebody. Said just be you. Because the moment you be you, you realize because you'll find it and you'll like it to the point you're not interested in anybody else apart from what you are doing.
Yeah.
And I thought, you know what? I'll take that on board. But then he was the master of his art, shall we say? Because
Indeed.
there's not many people you can see now. Well, there's a lot of people who are very good at what they do, but when it comes to things like that, that stood out for me with him, and always will do. Always will do.
Yeah,
Now,
he was a
you
great.
you you, you like your Terence Trent D'Arbys, your Maxwells, because we haven't heard a
Yeah.
lot from him of late. But I
No,
should imagine they've got something cooking somewhere.
I'm sure. I believe they're always creating. Just like guys, we don't hear much of. Rashawn Patterson was a great.
Oh, right, listen.
You
Oh,
know,
please. Oh, yes.
that's it.
I
They,
mean, yeah, that's good. Oh, that is. You've hit a note there with me now. You've said that name.
Yeah, no, awesome. Like there's so much great music. I do find myself going back a lot,
Hmm.
you know. But as of late, I've been listening to my boy Oscar Steeler.
Oh,
He did an album. Sadly, I can't remember the name of the lady he did it with. But either way, it's a great album.
hmm.
And I've been listening to that, and obviously, Luke Smith as well. He's just released some stuff, so I've been listening to their stuff in between, going back to the music I really appreciate.
Oh,
You know, I
okay.
do I do listen to what's around now, but I always find myself going back.
Ah. Now, your music history, because you've been doing it for
Yeah,
a while now, and it's nice. It's a breath of fresh air to actually hear. What's the words? An unadulterated voice or vocal set from yourself with
thank you.
no changes of this, no mixing, just your voice.
Yeah,
To hear that, if you haven't heard him yet, then I'm surprised. But later on in the show, you're going to hear something. And when you do, you're then going to realize why I'm crazy for this guy when it comes to singing. Because I've been to quite a few of your gigs, and every time I hear you sing, I'm just sitting there thinking, man, I really wish I could do that. but I know
Can
that I
bro.
cannot reach those highs. I will not attempt to reach those highs, because when you see the veins popping out like that, I know I just look and think more him than me, because I couldn't. I really wouldn't. Actually, I shouldn't, because it will ruin me, my voice and everything else. But to watch someone do it with ease, oh man, that's just, it's a blessing to be around people that can do that and do it to the level that to them it's a walk in the park, literally.
That wasn't always.
No, but it's a walk. It's a long walk. It's a long walk, but you know what? It's a nice walk.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm looking forward to either the next live stream or the next live gig, when gigs are allowed, where I can
Yeah.
sit there in my usual spots with my camera doing what I normally do. Because
I'm
I've
looking
still
forward
got
to it.
pictures from, oh, when was it? Yeah, Water Margin, all those years ago. And
You'll have to share them sometime.
listen, I'll dig them out. Don't worry about that. I'll dig them out and I'll send them to you, because you're going to think, how on earth did he remember to do this? And when did he take that shot? And all that. It's great to see it.
Yeah.
Now that we know your musical influences,
Yes.
what do you do? Do you teach as well, or do you just perform and put your head to what you're doing?
I do a bit of teaching for children age 7 upwards, to be honest. Every student I've taught has passed their exams, etc. So,
Wow.
yeah, I fell into it. It wasn't something I was planning on doing. But yeah, COVID has obviously changed it a little bit. I prefer the face-to-face interaction,
Yeah.
but I'm still doing a little teaching on the side for Studio 23, which is a small performing arts school.
Oh, great stuff. Now, on social media, sir, where can we find you?
Best place I would say is Instagram, which is at Paris Ruel. I've also got a .com, parisruel.com. I do have a what do you call it? The new thing that's out. I've just started doing it. A TikTok. I've just started doing it, but I'm very new to TikTok.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've just been having some fun on there, every now and then. But I don't take it as seriously as some
people do. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's it. Right. Every now and then I'll jump on. I might do a duet or sing a little something for the camera, But really, I'm a live man. This multimedia world, I have to force myself into it. I like being out there on the stage, jumping off the stage, coming through the crowd. That's who I am, and I'm eager to get back to that.
Well, the moment that happens, I'm gonna be there. I need to be there to catch up with this. Now, before you go, sir, is there anyone you want to say hello to before you
go? There's loads of people I'd like to say hello to, but really, the people I don't know the names of that have always come and supported me, gigs, and I'd really like to thank them and say hello to them, and I hope to see you all again in the near future.
Oh, thank you very much. But until then, he will be where he'll always be, sitting over there, cooking up all of his little bits and pieces to make sure that when it's right to come out and people hear it, they're going to think, I need to be catching up with this guy real soon. Now, it's been a while we haven't seen each other, but that's about to change because you have lots of things to do. So when I get my gig stuff together, I'll be calling you, sir. So you can come down and
I'm coming.
Spread some musical love as you do, because it's great to catch up with people, but it's also good to keep people involved. Always good to do that. But thank you very much, Paris, for your time today.
Pleasure.
Say hello to the family.
For inviting me.
Oh, listen, this is not your first time, and it ain't going to be. Well, no, this is your first time, but it won't be your last.
Sounds good.
Look after yourself, sir, and keep in touch.
Will do. Bye for now.
No worries.